And to be honest with you, ATP marks, they don't really matter. Uko inje. I'm not saying that you don't read, that you don't do your best. You'll be asked, of course, the first couple of weeks by your teachers, "Teacher, what did you get? But after that, it's over. What I want you guys to do is that when you go to school, avoid that peer pressure. Put people's assumptions and thoughts aside, but focus on yourself. And also, something else that I want you guys to know is that you should put God first. If you haven't learned from anything, just put God first in everything that you do. When you wake up in the morning, just whisper a prayer. It doesn't have to be long. When you go to sleep, whisper a prayer. Now I'll come to you, parents, to finish up. What I can tell you, parents, is first of all, thank you for nurturing these children, bringing them here, and teaching them the values of life. I really appreciate that from each and every one of you parents. Okay. One thing I can tell you guys is that please let your children decide what they want to do. Don't force your child to do something that they don't want to do. Each and every one of us is gifted in their own ways. Like, for example, you see, my dad who's over there, he loved maths when he was in school. And I got the marks that I needed even to do engineering if I wanted to. And that would have made him proud because he loved maths here. But you see, me and maths, I took Indiana. So you see, so what I'll tell you guys is that whatever your child decides to do, listen to them. To you, it might not seem like it's much. It doesn't even matter. Your child can come to you and tell you that after finishing school, that they want to pursue what their talents are, maybe like art. Listen to them, because I'm telling you that once you let your child do what they want to do, they will never, and I'm telling you, never regret that choice, because it's not you who made it. You had your time, and you can beat them. Give your children the time to choose. Let them choose, because that's the only way that they learn. Even if they choose and it's a mistake, they can change it later on. You can advise them, yes, but please do not enforce anything onto them. So apart from that, I just want to thank the principal for giving me this opportunity to come here and to talk. So that's all I wanted to say, but thank you. And if we meet, we can keep on, we can talk and we can exchange ideas, because that's how even the dunia inaendelea, sindio? So.
How many of you are excited for high school? By a show of hands. When you find the right friend, it can take you so far. In fact, I think I did as well as I did in KCSE because I had the right friends. And as Mr. Edwin was saying about like the impact that RSA has, I actually used to study with my friends who we went to my high school with from RSA. We might meet each other on the hall, ask each other, by the way, have you learned this? And we used to help each other. And during that KCSE period, we still stuck together and we still carry the values that we had here in RSA to high school, and that's what helped us pass in KCSE. So I'd like us to all clap for the teachers here at RSA. Yeah, so many times I'd be in class and I can hear Teacher Felina shouting in my head because she told us this thing in primary school and we're learning it again in high school, and they're just things that our teachers do that impact us for life. And I'd like to thank you guys for that a lot. Mr. Kirago, trust me, I think I only passed Kiswahili because of what you taught me in primary school. Like, there's those things that will happen in primary school that will be repeated in high school. So you don't be afraid about it. Don't be afraid of high school yet. Go in with an open mind and be ready to actually have fun. Boarding school is hard, I can't lie. You'll miss home, there'll be all those troubles, but imagine, make the best out of it. That's what I can say. Another thing is, I'd also encourage each and every one of you. Academics is important. Jeremy has given us that side of high school. There's clubs, there's sports, there's extracurricular activities that can give you so much energy to stay in school. High school, as you said, yes, 12 subjects, it's not easy, but you drop them along the way by the year, so it will be a bit better. But till then, you need things that you're passionate about to keep you going. So for me, I never used to be a good student as well. I didn't write notes in primary school, so it didn't change until I was like at the last lap in Form 4, and I'm like, what? I need to catch up. But the things that kept me going in school were the extracurricular activities that we did, the sports, the clubs, go for debate, go for all these functions. They give you energy, they give you a reason to love the academic side of things. So that's another thing I tell you. When life is hard in high school, try find another channel to give you encouragement other than the academic side of things. And lastly, I'd like to speak to the parents. So parents, thank you for being here. It shows that you support your children just with the fact that you made time this afternoon to come here. And so let's all clap for the parents. So one thing I'd like to tell you, my mom is actually here at the corner over there. And the reason why I've showed you my mom there is because parents, you need to support your children. Support them in everything. Because high school it's a time where you're discovering yourself. It's a time where you're gonna fall, you're gonna make mistakes, you're gonna do really well, you're gonna be lost. And at that time, my mom was really there for me. And so what I'd encourage is be there for your children, and not in a judgmental way. As Jared said, like, let them do their thing. But still, you need to be there for them. Even if you know they're making the wrong decision, give them the advice and tell them, whatever you do, I support you. So that all the way they know that they have their parents by their side. Because the world is harsh. There'll be other people, there'll be their teachers who won't necessarily get along with them, but at least they know that when they go home, their parents have their back. And that's what I'd like to encourage each and every one of you, because that's one of the things that will take your children through high school. We don't want to hear stories about a child from RSA did this and that, because you guys are the ones who are gonna pull their hand and prevent them from stumbling. Support your children. It's extremely important. I can't express how much. And so if you do that, you'll be very happy in the end. And I'd like to also mention that right now I'm doing a course in beauty. But what I wanted to tell you about that is, for me, I got a B+, I got an A in my sciences, but I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to go to the science course. I could have done engineering, I could have done, I got an A in chemistry, I could have followed that path. But there's passion also. And there's who your child is. Learn who your child is as they are discovering themselves in high school, and help support them. Tell them, oh, you like drawing. Okay, so I know my friend who does this, and you help them and you take them to that friend of yours. And children, oh yes, I know your parents sometimes you don't want to talk to them, but they're important. And so what I'd like to say is support them even in their passions and encourage them to pursue things. The grades are important, but if that's not where their heart is, then support them on this other journey. So that's what I'd like to say. Thank you so much for welcoming us. It was lovely to see you, teachers, and I'm glad to see that RSA is still keeping their values. Thank you.